If there is anybody in DC comic history to ever aggravate me to the point of mental exhaustion, a character that made me feel like I had to find a way to dive through the pages or my television screen, take off my belt and deliver belt to BUNS, that moniker goes to no other than Damian Wayne, the most annoying child to ever disgrace the pages and the screens of anything DC comic related came from below Batman's utility belt. The hate I've had for this kid has lived within me for a decade. I probably feel the same way about this kid that low tier God feels about his daughter. And listen, before your sweaty fingers smack the keyboard, today I am not primarily focused on the heroics and the noble deeds that Damian Wayne has done. And for the moment, I do not care that he's better now. I'm specifically focusing on the times where he was not. So if you hear me talking about injustice, just know that I'm aware that injustice doesn't define him nor his character as a whole. But for this specific video, take a breather, nigga, I'm gonna get into all of his most toxic traits, okay? If your itty bitty heart can't bear to hear it, go make another tweet about your feelings or something. I'm conscious of the fact that most people's disdain for Damian Wayne was initiated by overexposure to the Injustice timeline. That's how I even figured out that he existed when I got Gods Among Us for my 12th birthday. But besides that, did you know that there were other instances where this YN of a Robin was acting up beyond belief? Let me take you back to the least obvious time where Damian was under the impression that Jason Todd was cooperating with the ops. A long time ago, a young voice actor and I actually had the privilege to VA the project and bring it to life.
No, well, fuck you, bro. Nigga, at least he didn't send me back, bro. At least he kept me.
Bring it to life a little too much. What's the common response for when somebody accuses you of doing something heinous? You try your best to be as elaborate as possible when explaining your side of the argument, right? Damian threw bladed projectiles at Red Hood's neck, stomped on his face, and followed up with a right cross while accusing Jason repeatedly of killing a bunch of kids. Nigga, if there is anybody in the Bat family besides your daddy himself who would have a major problem with that, would it not be Jason? You pretentious fuckwit. And the cockiness of this child to not heed his warnings. Too confident in his own abilities to not only take down the man that was Robin before he was conceived, but the man who got the majority of his training directly from the Batman as opposed to being bred by the League. This little aggravating nigga tried Red Hood one more time. Just look at that psychotic smile on his face. Does this seem like a child who's here to do the right thing? No. He don't give a damn about those kids he's accusing Red Hood of killing. He's doing this for the love of the game. He knocked the mask smooth off of Jason's lips, electrocuted him with galvanized brass knuckles, and then in a final act of pettiness, he then thief his belongings. Damian had Jason on his knees, probably saying a prayer for Damian, for what Jason was about to do. Man, he flung that child, snapped the vertebrae. He manhandled that dummy and made his feet dangle in the air, straight disciplining him like a balking father. Do you now see where Damian's mouth gets him? Some of his behavior, even in the animated movies, had me feeling like somebody should have packed him up right next to his mommy. I feel sorry for Bruce Wayne being forced to deal with an imbecile like Damian for a son, especially after being blessed with Dick Grayson. And speaking of Richard, do y'all remember when Damian was out being a little murderous guppy and Nightwing pulled up to intervene? Yeah, he tried to kill Nightwing. Yeah, cut him up real bad. He probably cut his glutes. I mean, it's pretty hard to miss. If the son that I actually chose to have, meaning not you, Damian, came back to me in that state, I am wreaking havoc upon anything or anyone that caused it, whether you were my blood son or not. You little entitled half-demon. And I wish I could say that's where his BS stopped in the animated movies, but no. This fucking child snuck out of his mansion and went and sided with the Court of Owls. Not just disobeying, but blatantly betraying his father because Batman refuses to kill. Meanwhile, Talon and the other owls use it to put a vice grip on Gotham City, which, if you couldn't tell, is much more Damian's speed. And of course, once the court drained him of all his use, he went crying back to Dada. See, the movie taught me the importance of having a father figure. Cause look how Damian turned out, being raised by Talia without one. A goddamn snake. I was lucky not to end up like you spineless little gimp. Are your ears for decorative purposes only? Listen to your father, nigga. I have been alive for 24 going on 25 years. I have my own apartment, my own woman, and I am a father to 3 animals. I'm a 2-time cat daddy, a 1-time dog father, and I'm telling you right now that if I ever fuck around and have a biological child and he ends up anything like Damian Wayne, I'm grabbing that nigga by the throat like Homer Simpson and I'm shoving him back in my balls until I can summon a better child. Listen to me. I have been advised by my therapist to inform y'all that I am joking. But if you couldn't tell, Damian Wayne pisses me off. And with that being said, I'm afraid I must admit there were times where I was on his side quite heavily. I know, that doesn't sound like me. I've been pooping on his name for years. But then this happened.
So you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
Secure the loading docks.
And when he gave Batman this specific talking to,
you let the Joker keep on killing. You couldn't save Lois or Jason or anyone.
His word held some weight. But it would go completely discredited because of what he did just a moment before. Bruh. If the prisoners make it back to Arkham, I personally do not believe that they should be killed. They break out all the time. If you want to go on a bloodlust, why not wait until then? At least you would have had a good reason. But Damian, his hands were literally cuffed behind his back. And then he went and flew off with Superman. There was even an audio in the game where he told one of his ops that Superman's been more of a father to him than Batman ever was. So we just lying for no reason now, Man, does Superman even know your favorite color, nigga? And I didn't even mention what you did to Nightwing. You murder everybody's favorite Robin, and then claim it was an accident? It didn't look like an accident. How you gonna take him away from me? From us? And then you dared take his name as your own. Do you not have shame?
It was an accident.
I wish I could say that you were too, but your mommy gave you to us on purpose. You just have a knack for betraying your father. Bruce could accidentally use your toothbrush and you'd run to Deathstroke, handing over his bank account details, or some shit like that. There's a reason why people address you by name and not by the alias of Robin, because when it comes to you, niggas gotta know exactly who they're talking about. Look, let me try to be positive, okay? Damian Wayne has got some of the best drip in Injustice 2. Damian Wayne actually had a lot of growth in the animated movies. Like, it came to a point where I was actually kind of happy and even at times excited to see him. The moments he shared with his father as he got older became more heartfelt. I couldn't resonate with most of it, but seeing him become more mature and open up more to his father was heartwarming to see. And hey, I bet his comic appearances are pretty good now. But forgive me if I refrain from reading them. I wish I could say I was sorry, but I'm not. The anguish that Damian Wayne had me in for years is unforgivable. And it'll probably get worse when they drop Injustice 3. I'm just trying to keep my mental health and my feelings in check for whatever dumb daddy-hating blasphemy finna come out of his mouth next. Do you agree with me? Like the video and subscribe if you do. What? Did I piss you off? I know there's somebody foaming at the mouth right now with a bottle of Mountain Dew beside him, cooking up a comment right now to tell me how absurd this video is. Thank you very much to all of my God tier members, whether that be on my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. Y'all have been keeping me happy and motivated, and I cannot thank you enough for that. Mwah. Hey, I'm genuinely curious as to what y'all's stance is on Damian Wayne. Let it be known in the comments below, and I'ma be seeing you. Bye.